with Junk Journal Gems, a mixed bag of topics for today. First of all, I wanted to share with you some new paper and ephemera packs that are available in my Etsy. I've just put a few of them out there for right now, but I can make more. So if I run out from what I have listed, I'm just kind of doing a test, then I will definitely list some more for you. But let's just quickly, I'll show you what the pack includes, and then you'll have an idea of what you'll be getting in your pack. And after I show you this, then we'll make a little something with some of the things that are available in the kit, so you have an idea how to use it. There's a vocabulary card. There's 2 relief fund relief stubs. There's a snapshot in every one of the kits. There is a telephone message. I always say this wrong. A stereograph card, I believe is how it's correctly stated. A school tax receipt. These are kind of interesting, from Pennsylvania. A check. A canceled check that's stamped through it or punched through it. I thought that's kind of cool. An old antique German book. This is a rag content paper. A bingo card. A vintage greeting card of some sort. They're not the identical things in each one of the packs, but this gives you an idea of there's one of at least each of these items, but they may look slightly different. A flashcard, a vintage flashcard. A receipt. Here is another folio from a German book, antique German book. Andersen's fairy tale folio. At least one letter. Stenography folio. These are cool. These are time cards from an old coal company from the, I believe, the 20s. There will be a receipt from the Central City Theater of Pennsylvania. A slip from the Thrift Garden Committee of Somerset County Relief Board. That was during 1933. A folio from another antique book. And a folio from a Harper's Magazine book. Another folio from a German book. A folio from a ledger. These folio pages look to be from what I could tell, from a household that probably ran a farm in Wisconsin. And then 2 vintage, or not 2, a vintage dictionary folio, nice big one with some great patina to it. This is a folio from a stenography workbook, a music page, and a page from a vintage postage stamp book. So I love these pages. They're fun to use in so many ways, and that is something that we are going to use today. So let me just grab all of this. I will reassemble this packet later, so you don't have to watch me struggle with that. But what I thought we would do is a little project here. I thought we would make, sometimes, I don't do this a whole lot, but sometimes I pre-make pages. If I'm just feeling like I just want to put together some pages rather than create a full journal at the time, I'll pre-make some pages that sometimes have some ephemera or decorative items already on the pages. Sorry, neighbor's going by with the lawnmower. So I'll show you how I go about doing that. And it's just a nice, wonderful thing to have at the ready when you are crafting. And I just pulled out some samples of some of the folios that are in the kit. I guess one folio from a stenography book is okay. Typically, the journals that we make are with a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in the United States, that is, folded in half. So I try to keep that in mind as I'm preparing my pages. For example, when I take this folio, these are bigger pages. These measure 7 by almost 9.5, but not quite. So I would either need to cut off the edges, and I do that sometimes, or fold the pages in. Now I'm not going to fold this one because this is a stiffer, thick paper, almost like an older cardstock, and I'm afraid that if I crease this, that it may tear or break. So I'm not going to make my project today on this one. We could easily use the stenography book folio because this would well be sized for the inside of a journal, and that would be fun. But I thought that I would just use this fun insert from our folio from the Harper's Magazine. And the reason why I chose this is because you've seen me reinforce pages before, but I thought it was another good opportunity to just use that step. Now again, we first want to check our page or our folio pages to be sure that it's going to fit inside a journal. And this is, as it is now, almost 8.5 high by about 6.25 wide. So the width is fine, but the height needs to be addressed. I've got my little chomper here, my little Fiskars cutter, and we're just going to cut off a little bit from the top and the bottom. I'm also using this one myself because seriously, I came in my craft room the other night and my dog was chewing on some of my papers. My fault for having a pile of them on the floor. However, she has never done this. She's getting older and bless her little heart, I love her to pieces, but she's starting to pick up some really weird behavior, like eating things she never has before. So I looked it up online, and apparently it is a thing that older dogs do. Who knew? I've not had a dog do that yet, so that was new news to me. Yeah, she started doing that, and she also started to keep her sleeping at night. She's just shaking all the time. Okay, we're just below 8.5 high, and we already knew we were within the width. So now we are good to go with our book page. So what we're going to make is some little coin envelopes to go on the page. So what I'm going to use for that is I'm still using my Shabby Dabby Doodah papers, and I took a page from the postage stamp book, and I'm going to use that as well. So what I'm going to do is take my template, and this was so easy. Play around with making your own templates. It's super easy. I just drew out, let's do one quick. I measured how wide I wanted the envelope portion of the template, and I wanted it 2.5 inches wide by 4, I went a little over, who knew? By 4.25 high. So you go, I usually just take a scrap piece of paper or a book. Let's go in the middle here because we'll have our flaps. A little over 4 high. Come on, friend. And then it was, what did I say, 2.5? Yeah, 2.5 wide make sure you can see here. I'm going to take this off, otherwise this glue on the edge is going to get in the way. And I won't have a flat surface. Today's another Friday I have off. It is absolutely astoundingly beautiful outside. Had a doctor appointment this morning. I had to do a blood draw. How is this one for you? I go to show up for my blood draw, and the guy tells me when I get there, and I'm weird about needles. He tells me he's not a phlebotomist and that he's filling in, but he's a guy from the lab. Yeah, so he poked one of my arms, my left arm first, and it didn't work. I apparently have small veins. I'm not a big person, so evidently my veins are about the size of a child's. So he missed the vein. Yeah. And then, thankfully, before he poked my other arm, he decided to go get somebody else. Hallelujah. I was never so happy to see someone else in my life. I've passed out before during a blood draw, and I wasn't looking forward to a show again today. Oh, no. Okay, so there is the box. I put dashes along here because those are going to be fold lines. And then I just eyeball my flaps. But what I did, just to help you out a little bit, is the longer flap is at its highest, just a 1/16 over 1.5. So if we do that here, let's just not cheat, Lisa. 1/16 over 1.5 at the highest point. And then on the shorter flap, I don't make them the same size because then that just gets unnecessarily bulky. And this one is about 1.25 inches. Our neighbors are getting married in their yard tomorrow, so they have been remarkably busy. My upper and lower flaps, I'm going to make them a little bigger this time, are almost, not quite 1 inch. I'm going to make them little. Let's do this. Just like to make little marks so I know where I'm going here. All right, and then what I do is at this mark here, gosh, I hope you can see this. I just realized that, I'm sorry. I should be doing this with a marker. And then there's dashes here. Just want to show you how quickly you can whip a template out. And then I come out here, curve it, might want to go a little straighter. And again, I just eyeball it, oops, and then I come across. And here, this is our long one. Come out here, we come out here. Go like that. Go like that, okay, and then we come down the bottom. Go like that, go like that. There probably are templates out there. I never even thought to look. I just always make my own. Okay, so there's my template. And then I cut it. So I hope you all are having as good a day as I am. We've had rain. Rained a good amount yesterday. It rained last night. Things are starting to green up a little bit. There. And voila, we have a little coin envelope. Goes like that. Bottom flips up. Top flips down. And you have a coin envelope. Okay, so now we're going to take our template and we're going to trace it onto our DigiKit, or you can use scrapbook paper, you could use ledger paper, you can use book pages. Whatever you fancy. There we go. Cut this out. Oops. I rushed that corner a little bit. And there we go. There's that. And then I'm going to take this part of the template and I'm going to look at one part is going to be the inside of my envelope and the other one is going to be the outside. And I think I want this page as the outside. So this will be the side that I'm choosing to be the outside. And I want to make sure that I'm doing this right, that it's running up and down. I'm going to flip the front down and put this onto where I want it on that page, and then I'm going to trace this. The other thing, you know what, let's do it that way. I was just going to say, probably the easiest way to do this would be to glue this onto the page and then cut around it. That. Then we'll take this, move that out of the way. Go like that. Get my card out. Well, it looks like I did not. My fingers probably, because they're full of glue, lifted the glue off and I don't think I got enough on there. Whoops. easily fixed. Okay. Okay, let's cut this out. For those of you who are not novices to paper crafting or making journals, I'm sorry, I'm showing the cutting. But for those who are new, I wanted them to be able to see the entire process. So for those of you who don't care to watch me cut, feel free to speed the video ahead. And if you like my videos, I invite you to click like and with the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you. That way you're notified if and when I have new videos posted. And if you've got crafty friends, share my videos with your friends. Okay, while I am looking at this, I'm going to erase some of my pencil marks here. There we go. Okay, here is our envelope, front and back. So I'm going to take this side. Where's my bone folder? And then the other. To my bone folder again. Bottom. And it might actually work a little better if you, or more accurately, if you score it with a scoreboard. If you have one, if not, you can still make it work. I like how this shows. And that folds down. Fun, fun. And you know I have to ink it. And of course, you can always buy coin envelopes, but this way, if you're going with a certain color scheme in a journal or a theme, you can do that. Okay, so here's our envelope, and now we're going to glue it. I just happened to pull my Fabri-Tac out. Everybody wait for the Fabri-Tac. It seriously is like molasses in January. Exactly. There. Oh, come on. There we go. It decided to commit. And then we'll put the bottom flap up. And there's our envelope. Now, the way I want to put this on the page, take our page back out, is I want to put a couple of them stacked like this. So this will be the side that we will decorate. So now you've seen where we're going with this. Next, I'm going to reinforce this page. So I always get out my big old bag of scraps and see what I got. I'm gonna use this piece here. And again, I am going to get my pencil out and mark. Get my chopper out. And then clean up the side of it. Oh my goodness. I think dogs heard Dad come home. And it's about their dinner time, so his arrival is a super exciting thing right now. Whoops. Yep, Dad just came home, so we might have to pause here if the dogs start going bananas. I think I want this side showing. And I'm just kind of eyeballing the middle here, so I remember where to go with this. For this, I'm getting my trusted art glitter glue. There we go. Oops, I think I went on the wrong side, or the side I didn't intend, but that's okay. There we are. Make sure it's on there good. Then what I like to do, needed my scoreboard so that we can score this bad boy. Oh boy, that was in there good. And I'm just doing it fairly lightly on this side. I don't need to get all crazy with it, because then it will fold nicely this way. Oops, I didn't quite get it down the middle. Well, shoot, with all the best laid out plans. There we go. I guess I could have gotten a little more serious with scoring it, huh? There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. Here's that. So then we're gonna make a couple more of these, because I think, where's my ruler? This is a little over 8 inches high. 4, 5. Yep, we can fit 3. We should be able to fit 3 stacked this way. So let's do that. I'm going to grab a couple more pieces of paper for this. Okay, let's, my skin is dry. There we go. These are a little more plain, but I like these sides. So this will be my front of it. And then let's grab another Shabby Dabby Doodah page, because they're so pretty. Thank you, Tina. Hope all is going okay. Whoops. There's that one, and we'll need to get out another sheet for another one. Do I want that? Or this one? I actually would recommend doing this on the back side. I don't know why I never do. I don't know. It's just what I do. I'm just cutting off the excess here so I'm not gluing as much, or what I don't need to be, I guess is a better way to put it. Because what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to take it and go like this. So I feel like I have everything out here in my face, because I kind of do. This one on. I feel like this glue is like really dry. Look at it's not sticking. What is going on with my ooh-hoo? My magic glue isn't being very magical right now. We'll go back and then fix this later, but it's just bugging me. Here's that one. And then here's the other one. Which side do I want? I want that side down. Lost my ooh-hoo. Do a couple swipes on here. See if that works better. There, it's like it has to kind of I don't know, warm up. Weird. Okay, let's cut the other one out. I'm going to cut these two out. And then I will be back so you don't have to watch me cut both of these this time. Okay, I've got them cut out. And let's go ahead and fold these this time. Just so you can see how to do that, I am going to use my scoreboard. And I know I should be doing right side in, inside out, or whatever it is, but I'm not today. I'm not doing it. Oh, I should do these too. What I'm doing is these little corners here, I'm lining them up with a track on the board because they're not 100% perfect. And that's okay. This one, how perfect is that? It has a line already there for me. Oops. Okay, so do this guy. This guy. I don't know why they're guys. They just are. They're not girls. They're guys. And then I'm going to ink them. You can hear dogs barking. My husband let his dogs outside, and our son's Yorkie is out there, so she's out there bossing the neighborhood. That's what she does. Okay, there's one. And here is this one. Again, I'm going to do the corners in the rows here. This one we don't have a ready-made line for us. Oh my, I'm gonna have to do better at that next time in lining it up on the paper so I've got a ready-made line. There we go. Let's get this out of the way and then we'll ink this one. Then I was thinking, for this journal, I've been using a lot of flowers, or these journals I've been working on lately. And so I think we'll decorate with some things that are in the ephemera packs, ephemera page packs, and oops, I knew I forgot a spot. And some of my ephemera stash. Okay, let's get the page back out. Thought I lost my other envelope. I want this one in the middle. We need to glue here. I was amazed. Last night, my husband had the hunting dogs outside. And right in their face at the corner of our lot was a deer. I thought, oh my goodness, those dogs are going to see that deer and take off running after it. My husband has them so well trained. They saw it, they were pointing it, but they did not run off after it. I stand corrected. I thought for sure they would take off, but they did not. Way to go, hubby. I didn't do all of my inking on this one. Sleeping on the job. Sleeping on the job. Okay. Now on our book page, that one will go there. I want this one on the bottom. I'll use the text line as a guide, and this little guy will go in the middle. Super cute. I love that. Love, love, love. Now, you could, of course, these are going to be tucks. You could do an extra tuck back behind it, or you could do one here. But I worry about the integrity of the book page. You always want to think about that, and I think I'm not going to do that on this page. But if I were using this, remember that thicker folio I showed you, I would definitely do it with that. So instead, I'm going to glue down. I'm using the art glitter glue because this is a old antique book page and I don't want it to show glue marks on the other side. So I'm just putting it down like this. Again, using the text as a guide, which is nice about doing this on book pages because I can line it right up that way. There we go. All right. Now, how do I want to decorate our adorable little envelopes? I'm going to use something else that's from the folio kits. The ones in the kits are bigger than this, but I'm going to use some check stubs. Let me dissect this one a little bit. Those staples are super hard to get out. I'm going to use this torn one in the back. So we'll use that as part of our collage fodder. And then here is, I hope this is going to glare, but this is a pencil pouch that just has flowers in it, and I wanted to see how these looked on there. That's an option. I'm wondering what else I have. Some of the labels, and those labels are from a shop called Gifts and Things, called Distressed Labels Numbers. Yeah, these might be, I was looking at these Tim Holtz pieces, but these are those die cuts that are on a cardstock. They're a little thicker than I'm feeling like I want to use right now. What if I get out, hold on. Remember some of those paint chip clusters that we used? We can see if there's some of those that we want to pull out. Because some of them, oh, yes, please. Let's see what else we've got for clusters. Maybe. And let's see what else. Not feeling that one. How about this little guy? We can take off some of the fabric. Maybe. Him's a maybe. That one's a definite. Yep. So we'll use those, and then we'll collage behind it some of these pieces, especially these that are written on. I love that. Yep, I'm going to take off though some of this fabric. Just getting out my pinking shears. Gonna scruff it up a little. Just love those. Just tearing off some of the scruffiness, but I'll save that because won't that make for great accents and different things? Oh, I had more out here than I realized I did. God. So what I'm going to do here is the same thing. Such a rebel about ripping things up. I'm going to ink it a little bit. Make it pop. Because these are disappearing into the pattern. Once we put this behind it, help me out. Contrasting, there we go, a contrasting color behind it, and it'll be ink, so it'll pop off the page a little bit. And it will be lovely. Okay. Well, is that fun or what? That's pretty fun. That there is pretty fun. Let's try this. See what happens. Oh, I gotta tear off some of the words. It makes me sad because I love them so much. Okay, Garrett's name is getting ripped off. Maybe what we can do here is ink around that a little too. I hope this gives you another idea of ways that you can prep pages in advance, or even if you just want to make the coin envelopes, you can just do that in advance too. Have those ready to pop into things anytime. Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I'm gonna ink around this a little more too. I'm also putting some stamps from all over the world in my Etsy too. So you can watch for that. Seeing that stamp just reminded me of that. I've been a busy girl. Busy girl. Tonight we're having our Friday night fish, if you know, from in Wisconsin is a big deal. Everybody loves their fish fries, but we don't go out for fish fry often. Number one, it gets expensive. Number two, it's not the healthiest thing if you're frying your fish and eating it every week, along with French fries or a big potato or whatever. So tonight we're making salmon at home. That will be delish. Very nice. And I kind of like how those run in a line together. All right, so let's get gluing that. Get this out of the way. And clean up some of my mess. All right, let's get the ooh-hoo back out and see if it'll cooperate. I think it'll be better now. You might hear my husband talking. He must be talking to one of his buddies on the phone. Love that. So fun. So if you, these clusters that I've got here, if you are curious about them, I did make them in a previous video, so you can look back at the paint chip cluster video. In fact, I will link it in the video for you so you can find it easily. And they're super simple and fun to make. Highly encourage you to give it a try. I'm gonna glue this one down right away so I've only got one kind of glue out at a time. Oh, come on. So then we'll get the art glitter glue out and just focus on that one. And there we go. Now we can put some tags in here or you can wait and have your book page ready. Oops, there we go. Book page ready. And then when you've got your theme going on, you can make your tags to go inside, but you are at the ready with a book page to go into, or a book folio to go into a journal. I hope you found this fun. I enjoy making these. It's a ton of fun. It's already done and raring to go. I thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you have a great day.